The corner, the corner, the corner.
Hey, welcome. Come on into Cousin Ed's Corner. This podcast is where you'll find real, authentic conversation, organic conversation, unscripted, unfiltered conversation, like you're home with your cousin. It's all about life. It's about finance. It's about spirituality. It's about love and everything in between. I'm your host, Cousin Ed. I'm excited to bring you along on this journey. So sit back and listen in as we dive into a wide range of topics. I have some diverse guests coming on with an array of thoughts and opinions. My goal is to create a space all for us to connect and communicate. It's not really about me. It's about the community as a whole. Let's enjoy it. Let's sit back. Let's think about our past. Let's move into our future. It's about
the corner, the corner, the corner. So no matter how you cut it or slice it, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Cousin Ed's Corner. The corner, the corner, the corner.
What's good, people? How you doing out there? This is Destrin checking in from the Brethren Podcast. We're here with Cousin Ed of Cousin Ed's Corner. What we wanted to let you know is, number one, we appreciate you checking in with us. We appreciate you liking, subscribing, and supporting the platform. We also wanted to let you know that this is information. This is used for informational purposes only. This is not financial advice and should not be used as such. Please consult your financial advisor should you feel the need to make an investment decision, a financial decision, or a decision that may be impactful to your family from a tax advantage standpoint. What we want to do is bring you content that is eye-opening, glaring, and also provides you the opportunity to explore, ask better questions, and be better prepared for the opportunities that await you. Again, this is Cousin Ed's Corner, and we hope that we can be of service to you. We love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Cousin Ed's Corner back at you again. Yes, yes, yes. I want to say the whole intro, but I just paused and stopped myself. For those who are new, I want to say thank you for joining us. For those who have been here before, thank you for joining us. Please be sure to share this show with your friends, family, and loved ones. You've already heard the disclaimer. What I'm talking about today is something I don't know anything about. Do not believe anything I say. Please go out and do your own research. These are only my thoughts, my opinions, and my, what I heard last night on television, right? So it's totally false. Nothing is true, all right? I want to make sure I give that second disclaimer. These are coming from conversations I've had this week. And I did, let me go back. I did 2 posts this week on Instagram, and I was able to, reach a lot of people and had many people have a lot more questions. And I wanted to do a quick Financial Freedom Friday just to answer some of those questions and talk about what I talked about on the Instagram live or on Instagram post, just to have it here as well for those who listen to the show, not only on Instagram. So, just to recap, I think the first one was I was talking to my cousin, and he was talking about he had a loss in his family, and his grandfather passed, and we were talking about the house that's being left to the family and the stocks being left to the family, and how the will stated one thing. They didn't have a trust, and there's a lot I'm about to go into, but listen. They didn't have a trust, and the will stated that, the funds will be divided amongst family members. So there's a couple things I want to break down right there. First thing is a will versus a trust. If you're any individual, you should definitely have a trust, even being an individual. And the difference between a will and a trust, and this, like I said, I don't know any of this stuff. I'm just making this up.
please go research it. The difference between a will and a trust. The will is your, I'm trying to put it in layman's terms. The will is your request of what you want to happen, right? So I write this down. I'm going to take it to a lawyer and say, here, this is what I want to happen. That's my will. A trust is your company incorporation, like your company rules of engagement, your company operating agreement. So I'm putting everything that I have into the trust. So I take the car I have, I take the house I have, I take the stocks I have, I take everything I have, and the company now runs that. So the government looks at the company as an entity, not an individual, and says this company will keep running even after the managing person, the managing party, being yourself, is gone. And with that operating agreement inside of that trust, I'm saying operating agreement, but it may be a better term for it. But with that agreement inside the trust saying what stipulations happen after that person leaves, after that person is no longer here, that's the governing body of that trust, of that operation, of that company. So I'm gonna give the two examples again. I have a will. I say, hey, I want my son to have the car. I want my spouse to have the house. I want my daughter to have my old records. I want my dog to have my Coca-Cola collection. I want my father to have my baseball card. Whatever. I mean, I can go, make up things, right? So you say that the lawyer says, yes, okay, I'm gonna execute the will, right? But we have to go to the courts and go through probate. So the judge says, yes, all of this is true, and we're going to let it happen. So since the judge had to do that, you have to pay court fees. The judge has to make sure nobody protests the will, all of this stuff. And it goes through probate for some time. With a trust, it automatically keeps the company running. The company's already running. It's just that the executor of the trust may change. And yes, there are some legal things behind it, but the company is still running no matter what. You just execute part of the operating agreement and it goes into effect at that point and changes who the managing body is or who the beneficiaries are. So just a quick one on trust and wills. I'm going to bring somebody on who is a professional who can give you the legal ease behind it. Is my understanding, is what I read on a bathroom wall yesterday. I don't make sure I'm giving that disclaimer. It's nothing I know. It's just something that I'm making up. Okay, you go look it up for yourself. But if you don't have one, definitely you need to go. You need to get one. All right. So that's the first part of it about the trust and the grandpa. In his will, he says sell the stock. So they, grandma worked at a phone company. She made some good investments. They kept the stock for many years, never sold it. What I explained to my cousin was selling of a stock is not bad, right? So let's say they had to divide the stock up between 10 people. It was worth $100,000. Each person got $10,000, right? If you're that person getting the $10,000, yes, that's your portion. Go back and buy the stock again. It may not be the same stock, but go back and buy the stock. Don't take the $10,000. You didn't have it before. Take the $10,000 and buy the stock again. Buy whatever stock you think you need. Because if they sold it on Monday and you got to check on Tuesday, or they sold it on the 1st of the month, you got to check on the 15th of the month, I would doubt that the stock rose or dropped. You hope it dropped, but I would doubt that it dropped so much or rose that much, has risen that much, that you're taking a huge loss, right? So you shouldn't mind, you shouldn't care. Yes, you wanted this to be transferred. Once again, I've left this out about wills and trust. If something's willed to you, you have to pay taxes on that as well. If it's in a trust, the company keeps it going, you don't pay taxes on it. So another whole thing. But you got the $10,000, go back and buy whatever stocks. So what I explained to him, an analogy that I broke down was, if you have a stock and you keep it long term, what you want to do is find stocks that pay dividends. Find stocks that pay dividends. What are dividends, Ed? Dividends are rewards. Dividends are payment. Dividends are a thank you from the company for believing in us and giving us your money to buy shares of the company. We're going to give you a small thank you back, a small payment back, a small dividend of what our profits are, right? So, example, you buy Coca-Cola for $100 a share, right? Next annual report, they said we did well. We're going to pay 2% of each share. That's $2, right? We're going to give you a $2 dividend of what you just bought. So everybody gets a 2% dividend. You still got $100 stock, and you get $2. That's a dividend payment, right? So you want to see what the dividends have been paid. And if you think about that $2 over 10 years, you got $20 for that $100 stock you bought. Also, don't forget that stock will fluctuate. It has ebbs and flows, so that stock may have went down to $99, it may went up to $101. In 10 years, that stock may be worth $200. In 10 years, it could be in a recession and the stock could be worth $50. So the stock goes up and down. Many companies have been paying dividends for many years. That dividends is an extra paycheck that you would get from the company for investing in them. Another analogy that I gave that I like, I wish I could coin it. If you think about rich people buy paintings, right? I put a painting on the wall. I bought the painting for, I'm gonna give it the same number, $100. I bought a painting for $100. And when I get ready to sell the painting later on, the painting is worth $200. So you got a $200 painting on your wall, and it's gone after that. But imagine if every time your mail person came by, they gave you $20 just to look inside the house and see the painting. Or you sat it in the window and everybody that passed by paid you $1. Say that $2 that we talked about. Everybody paid you $2 every time they passed by to look at your painting. That's your dividends being paid for holding that painting over time. So you're getting paid dividends for holding the stock over time. So I explained that to him, and I let him know that it's a good thing to do, man. I mean, listen, man, don't take the money in your grieving time. Don't take the money and blow the money on something that you didn't have before, but don't invest the money in something that can grow for you and make your life better in the long run. There's two sides of the coin. People say I should be able to enjoy life, and my parents, my grandparents, my loved ones gave me this to enjoy. Yes. So next part of the conversation is diversity, diversifying your assets, diversifying your liability. So you got $10,000. Yes, take $2,000, do what you want to do with it. Put $8,000 into something else. The $8,000 you could take $4,000 and $4,000 and put into long-term growth, and the other $4,000 you could put into a short-term return. So another conversation I had was short-term and long-term investing. One guy said he can't wait that long to get his money. I said, well, listen, diversify. Put half of what you would invest in something that's long-term and put the other half in something that's short-term. So example on that is I'm jumping in and I'm getting in Tesla right now. I know Tesla is going to do, it's going to be around for a while. That's my long-term investment. But Cousin Ed's Corner is a new podcast. I don't know what it's going to do. That's going to be short-term. I think he's going to do a release next month, and his stock may go up. So I'm going to get into Cousin Ed's Corner on a short-term investment and hope that it goes up. So that's my gambling money, my gambling investment, hoping that it goes up. And you can look at that in many ways for different industries on what you think may happen. Those are the ones you think may happen. So you invest in those. So I've seen it plenty of different ways. I'm not going to keep you long. I'm about to get out of here, but I want to give credit to a couple people who helped me get to this point of understanding what I do understand right now, who wrote it on the bathroom wall when I saw it in the bathroom. Those people. So one was my mentor when I first got a job at AT&T, who told me to buy AT&T stock. And he said, the reason why you're buying it because you work here and you see it. He said, invest in things you see. And that's one thing I've always done, invested in things that I see around me, right? So always invest in things you see. Another one is kind of controversial, but the book changed my life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read it, definitely read it. Like I said, he's controversial and some of the other things he may say, but the book changed my life in thinking about investing. So definitely check that book out. There's a couple more that I would mention, but like I said, get you out of here. If you have any questions, definitely, I'm going to bring an expert on who can answer all questions. I am also going to open up the lines of communication. You can text me 762-333-2032. That's 762-333-2032. You can text me anytime. Also, go to cousinedscorner.com, cousinedscorner.com. Across the top of the page, hit leave voicemail. Leave me a voicemail. I try to answer those. And you can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all those places. You can DM me on any of those platforms, and I try to get back to you. This is only for educational purposes. It is not true. You have to do your own research in doing this. But I love you, and I want us to grow as a community and grow and get better at our finances, our spirituality, our mental capacity of growth in this world. Just, it's so much we don't know that we can learn. And I just want it for myself, and I want it for you, I want it for your kids, I want it for your family, I want it for all of us. So each one teach one, iron sharpen iron. Love y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.
Disclaimer: I do not provide personal investment advice, and I am not a qualified licensed investment advisor. I'm an amateur investor. All information found here, including any ideas, opinions, views, predictions, forecasts, commentaries, suggestions, or stock picks, expressed or implied herein, are for informational, entertainment, or educational purposes only and should not be construed as personal investment advice. While the information provided is believed to be accurate, it may include errors or inaccuracies. I, nor any of my guests, will not and cannot be held liable for any actions you take as a result of anything you hear or read on this show. You must do your own due diligence or consult a licensed financial advisor or broker before making any and all investment decisions. Any investments, trades, speculations, or decisions made on the basis of any information found on this site, expressed or implied herein, are committed at your own risk, financial or otherwise. Cousin Ed's Corner is my personal thoughts. It reflects my own views, ideas, and opinions. It is not a production of my guest, nor is it affiliated with any broker/dealer or registered investment advisor. No representations or warranties are made with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the content of this entire show, including any links to other sites. The links provided are maintained by their respective organizations, and they are solely responsible for their content. All information presented here is provided as is, without warranty of any kind, expressed or implied. From time to time, I may include affiliate links and advertisements on Cousin Ed's Corner that result in my receiving a payment should a visitor click on a link or sign up to a service. As per established internet practice, listeners are entirely responsible for any actions they take as a result of listening, reading, or clicking on links mentioned on the show, and are urged to do your own due diligence before signing up.
Thank you for listening to Cousin Ed.